kaitiaki. Part of our role is that we are the guardians. If you like, we speak on behalf of the fish. That's our job. You know, it's our job to protect that resource and nurture it and make sure that it's not plundered.
Glenn Blackwell is a no-nonsense former cop turned fisheries officer.
Good afternoon, how are you? How's the fishing been? We'll just have a look at them, eh? Sure, mate.
In this instance, the fishing has been poor and the day is about to get worse for these Auckland boaties.
But we have a couple that are probably less than 29 centimetres long. He's about 28.6.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yep.
Are you aware of the 30 centimetre rule?
Yeah, but like I said, we're measuring it off over here, so.
The pair blame the choppy conditions for the measuring error. What do you think of the fisheries rules, the 30 centimetre limit and that sort of?
That's good. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what it should be. It should be even bigger.
Yeah, but you made a mistake today.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Oh, well, we're going to get in trouble. We're going to get in trouble, aren't we?
While the vast majority comply with the rules, Beast.
It doesn't need measuring.
Data obtained by the Herald show problems remain with some illegal activity in both the recreational and commercial fishing sectors. Last year, 3,288 recreational fishing offences were identified, after fisheries officers inspected almost 30,000 vessels. Overall, the recreational sector has a compliance rate of 94% for 2024. And 863 commercial fishing offences were racked up in the same period after more than 2,000 inspections of big vessels, like trawlers or longliners. The commercial sector's compliance rate for 2024 was 89%.
Lots of them are all quite big fish too.
Yeah.
Last year, a commercial vessel was identified as being responsible for losing hundreds of snapper off Omaha Beach, north of Auckland. Are we talking like 10 kilos or a lot more than that?
A lot more than that.
How much?
Possibly up to a tonne of fish.
That's huge.
It is huge, yep.
The Herald's confirmed the skipper was recently charged by MPI over the incident. But Blackwell says the biggest problem in the commercial sector is failure by some skippers to follow simple rules, like not providing monthly harvest reports on time, not notifying MPI of when they are going fishing, and in some cases, taking undersized fish.
Our tolerance for people who are not complying has pretty much dropped away now because they've had ample time to educate themselves, and we've spent a lot of time meeting with commercial fishermen, and those that are having issues, we try and help them through that with educational advice. But there's an expectation, because they're taking fish for commercial gain, and there are pretty clear regulations across all of their activities, our expectation is that they do it the right way.
There have been recent high-profile cases of alleged breaches by recreational boaties too.
Hey guys, this is a marine reserve. There is no fishing.
2 vessels were caught fishing inside the popular Goat Island Marine Reserve on the same day just 3 weeks ago.
No, you guys are going to be in big trouble.
But when it comes to the recreational sector, the biggest reoccurring issue is anglers taking undersized fish or too many.
It's definitely excess or undersized snapper. Yeah, that's probably our biggest problem that we have. Some people either claim ignorance to the rules, the recreational rules, or they just choose to ignore them.
Senior Fishery Officer Monique Scott says while most anglers are comfortable interacting with her and the team, occasionally some get angry.
But we came alongside this guy, and as soon as we sort of got maybe 20 metres away from him, we can see he was throwing quite small, sort of 20-25 centimetre snapper overboard.
How many snapper was he chucking?
We counted 8 that he'd thrown over, so more than the daily limit. He also had quite a big knife in his hand.
Was he waving that at you?
Sort of angrily had it in his hand, yeah, so just looked a bit aggressive. We're all sort of shouting at him out the window to stop what he was doing and put the knife down, and he carried on.
Does that sort of thing happen occasionally where people become aggressive towards you guys?
It's not normally too bad, but generally if people know the rules, and this guy had previous history, they tend to get a bit touchy, yeah.
What sort of previous history?
Catching undersize in excess in the past, so would have received some warnings and infringements.
How many warnings or infringements in the past, do you think?
There was 9 previous incidents that he had.
Wow, so a repeat offender.
Definitely, yeah.
Illegal set nets are also a constant problem.
So they're washing up in the tide, they're catching seabirds or fish. I've even heard of seals being caught in nets as well. So just setting them really irresponsibly, so they're just destroying everything they come into contact with.
And is that happening fairly often around the country for fisheries officers, you think?
I can't speak for the rest of the country, but for Auckland, it's nearly a daily occurrence, yeah.
Every single day?
I'd say, yeah, up to 10 times a week is a very common occurrence for us to pick up nets. Set nets can't be staked, they need to be anchored. They can't be tied to any trees or rocks, anything like that that's static.
And you had a case where one was tied to Mangere Bridge, right?
Yes.
That's illegal?
That's definitely illegal, yeah.
Glenn Blackwell warns breaches won't be tolerated. I mean, you do this work day in, day out. Do you care about this resource?
All of the people that do this job are passionate about it. We have a large proportion of our staff who have worked at MPI and at Fisheries New Zealand for a number of years, and they are people who really care, and that's a part of why they do the job.
What happens if we exploit that resource and don't look after it and don't follow the rules?
You'll be spending a bit of time with us and possibly spending a bit of time in the local district court.